This is about XRP. So XRP Army. But wouldn't it be better for the XRP Army if Ripple loses the lawsuit? If it were a security, at least Ripple would have an obligation to do well for their shareholders, right? You have to, securities, there's expectation to profit from the work of others. If Ripple wins and XRP is not a security, Ripple can continue dumping without worry. I mean, why doesn't anyone like this except for Jerry? Thank you, Jerry, for liking and commenting. But yeah, as a security, there's an obligation of the company to do well for the shareholders. So let's say they're recklessly dumping the XRP token, which is a stock, it's a share in the company, to pay for maybe things that are unnecessary or whatever, they might get sued by their shareholders, or maybe their shareholders could overrule it. The XRP Army could say, hey, wait a second, why'd you guys dump 310 million tokens in this last quarter of 2022? That's not acceptable. Maybe they'd have to stop it. But if XRP is not a security, if XRP is in fact not a security, then they can do whatever they want. They could just nuke the price. They could bring it to zero and it's not a problem. Like all these companies that are registered with SEC as securities, they can't just nuke the price. That would be an issue. But XRP, Ripple could do that with XRP if it's not a security. That's the problem with XRP not being a security. So maybe the XRP Army should want XRP to be a security, because then the Ripple company would actually have to respect them instead of just, maybe hyping it up or whatever, saying nice things about it and then completely using them as liquidity. So that's an interesting thought. And I'm not so fluent in the security laws and things like that. So someone could correct me if I'm wrong, but there are circumstances, according to ChatGPT at least, where it would be unacceptable to issue or just dump shares on their shareholders. There has to be reason for it. They can't just simply dilute it. They're subject to regulations. So I think a victory in this lawsuit would certainly be a victory for Ripple, because they could give themselves a raise and dump some more XRP. But would it be a victory for the XRP Army? I don't think so. I don't think it would be. I think it would be a tremendous loss. There's no accountability. The good thing about Hex is that Hex is not a company. It's not a centralized entity. Nobody needs to dump Hex on, the Hex community to raise money for real estate, research and development, payroll, everything, all expenses incurred by the company. There's none of that in Hex. There's none of that in all the best performing cryptos that have continued to make higher highs, unlike XRP, except for BNB maybe, and maybe very few others. But Doge, SHIB, no company. Bitcoin, no company. Ethereum, no company. Although there's the Ethereum Foundation and Vitalik who dump, but whatever. It's not like, as I'm sure they don't incur the expenses that Ripple does. Monero, no company. Only one's BNB. But yeah, so this would be maybe I don't know. It's an interesting thing I thought about, but nobody, I don't know. It's a little bit of a thought exercise. Hopefully, this gets adopted. Maybe it catches on and people in XRP start waking up and realizing that they're not being treated best and they should go to where they're treated best. And obviously Hex treats people the best, although there's no expectation from the work of others. There are no expenses incurred because there is no centralized entity behind the Hex smart contract. It's decentralized, no admin keys, nothing. So hopefully XRP community could awaken to the fact that they're being treated like garbage and laughed and scoffed upon by people like Brad and David Schwartz, who just, and what's his name? Who's the guy that dumped? What's his name? What's that guy's name? Ed McCaleb and things like that. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because actually on TikTok, which you should be following me at Furu Finance, got 754 followers. I get 1,000. I can start doing live streams there. 9,547 views in under a day. That's insane. TikTok. That's more views than any of my YouTube videos. Any of my YouTube videos, I got that in under a day. That just shows you how important TikTok is. Point is that I got this actually from Sami, and I gave him credit. You see over here in the corner, source credit to your friend Sami on Twitter. Thank you, Sami. But yeah, I covered the fact that they're getting dumped on. They got 310 million XRP tokens dumped by Ripple on their community to raise money. And that's been getting a lot of traction. So I made another one this morning. Hopefully it does as well or even better. And then people start going where they're treated best, like Hex and things like that. So that was cool. And that's why I bring it up now. But yeah, that's interesting. That's an interesting way to look at it, and maybe it should be considered more by the XRP community. Maybe a victory in this lawsuit is not such a victory, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Is a victory in this lawsuit a victory for XRP? Let me know in the chat.